Guys, we've got big, beautiful breaking news in the wristwatch space. Francis Ford Coppola's personal FP Journe sells for $10.7 million, making it the most expensive FP Journe ever sold on the market. So I figured, you know what? Let's rewind. What is FP Journe? Who is Francis Ford Coppola? Why does this matter? Why did this watch go for such insane sum of money? And also, super chat from Magic City. Mike Lewis, come back. Thank you. Thank you, Magic City. Guys, let's get into this. Let's just do a quick rewind here. Because I love FP Journe. I wish someday I could own FP Journe, but it's too late. It's literally, this brand has taken off. They don't take grifters.
Francois Journe isn't your typical watchmaker. He didn't get into the industry to build a company or ride a trend. He got into it to chase perfection. This all began when he was 20. He was working in his uncle's watch restoration atelier, and it was here where he honed his skills. He was surrounded by vintage watches and vintage movements from years past. At this time, he was already working on complex tourbillons and pioneering his own movements that few dared to touch.
This guy's a
He perfected his
genius.
skills by studying brands such as Jean-Vier, Berthoud, and Breguet. But instead of copying them, he took inspiration from them and created his own legacy. And then, in 1999, he launched his own brand, Montres Journe SA. And with it, a powerful motto stamped onto every dial: Invenit et fecit. He invented it, and he made it. And with it, his own craftsmanship and his design go into every single timepiece. While many brands delegate, outsource, and mass produce, FP Journe is different. They create everything in-house. Every movement, every dial, every case is manufactured under one roof in Geneva. And something that makes these watches even more special is that all movements are made out of 18-karat gold. This isn't to show off. This is because the gold offers greater stability and precision to the movements. That decision alone places his watches in a league of their own. Journe doesn't chase trends. He chases chronometry. Each model is an exercise in accuracy, innovation, and restraint. His timepieces aren't just worn, they are studied. Let's talk about the watches that define his legacy. The first up, the chronometra à resonance, a marvel of physics. Two balances that oscillate in sync through resonance. This is something that only a few watchmakers have ever attempted, let alone mastered. The tourbillon souverain. This is more than just a tourbillon. It features a remontoire d'égalité, a constant force mechanism that ensures consistent energy to the escapement. It's like tuning a violin with perfect tension every second of the day. The Octa collection, home to one of the first pieces with a 5-day power reserve, all while maintaining classic proportions. Each piece a pursuit in mechanical poetry. In a discreet workshop in Geneva's Old Town, sits one of the most revolutionary watch workshops in the world. There are no guided tours or branded museums, just a handful of artists.
Wait, hold on a second. There are actually guided tours for VVVIPs, customers of the brand at the highest level. They actually get to go behind the scenes. You can actually see and walk the floors of the workshop. Obviously, it's not like open to the public, but I don't think it's something public would even be that interested in. But regardless,
many of whom have trained for decades to be able to create these FP Journe watches. Each watch is created by a single watchmaker, one pair of hands, and one sole vision.
Now that is a unique approach to watchmaking. Every single person they hire, they train them to the highest possible level. So when the watch is made, it's fully made by a single person. I think it's like the purest form of watchmaking in a way, right? Because it's made on such an individual level. Some of these factories, like even Rolex, right? Even though there's stuff that has human touch, a lot of it is done in like a conveyor belt fashion, where one watchmaker just fixes one screw, and that's their entire job, to just fix one screw. Obviously, Rolex is producing watches on a million pieces level a year, like multiple, actually 1.25 million, I believe, right now. You probably wouldn't be able to do the same thing with FP Journe. And I know Tim G keeps saying, well, when the guy dies, they're gonna change the direction of the brand. Valid point. But I don't know. Like, even if they wanted to increase the capacity, maybe they would have to lose this aspect of their brand. And I think is the fact that they do, this way with each watchmaker working on a single piece. Maybe that's what makes them successful. So we'll see.
And the result, that's 1,000 watches per year.
Yeah,
This isn't
1,000.
about scarcity
That's
for marketing.
Now think about it. 1,000 watches per year. One watchmaker could probably make a watch a week. That's like if everything is super efficient, right? So 50 watch, let's say 50 watches per watchmaker. They're hiring a lot of people, right? At least, well, they got it's a big staff.
This is about integrity. The
You
clientele
guys
is
do the
unlike
math.
any other. These aren't buyers chasing the spotlight. These are collectors, designers, scholars, people who appreciate the craftsmanship and
Mhm.
discretion. People like Jean Todt, Ralph Lauren, and Bill Gates. People who could buy anything, but they choose to buy
Wait a second. I don't think Bill Gates bought an FP Journe. Let's see. 1,000 watches divide by, let's say, 50 watches. Okay, so it's like 20 watchmakers. Well, it's hard to find skillful people, right? 20. They would need 20 of the best watchmakers in the world. You can't just get, anybody. You need the best of
Journe.
the best.
Because in their world,
And then you have to train them for many years
quiet
too.
mastery means more than loud branding. Not long ago, an FP Journe was considered a niche choice, an insider brand. But since then, prices have surged dramatically. A chronometer blue,
Because of people like Kevin O'Leary. You got to give credit where credit is due.
once under £20,000 at retail, now fetches six figures on the grey market.
Damn.
Early subscription pieces and rare editions have fetched millions at auction. Yet many still believe that Journe are undervalued, given their rarity, innovation, and historical significance.
It's the darling brand of wristwatch investors. And I think FP Journe has been chosen by the top level collectors as the it brand because there's just too many brands right now. Let's be honest. There's so many brands out there. Everybody is trying to be the best, but there could only be one that's the best. FP Journe falls into like this perfect category. It's a perfect watch brand. They make just enough watches, but not too many. They're wearable. That's a big benefit. They're they look good. They got everything going for them.
Journe didn't build his watches to be investments, but in a world where craft is becoming
That's the whole point. What the guy said right there. He didn't build them to be investments. That's very important because as soon as you make something, you build something as investment, as collectible, as a thing, it's immediately loses its meaning. I think loses its heart. That's why Rolex is such a desirable brand because they started out making tool watches and they're sticking to their guns because if they wanted to monetize somehow the brand even more, I think they could, but the restraint is what makes them desirable.
rare, collectors are taking notice. FP Journe doesn't advertise, he doesn't hire celebrities, and yet he's created a movement. There are forums, waiting lists, even pilgrimage trips to Geneva, just to understand what makes his watches different. And the answer? They reflect the soul of a single man, a man who has never compromised. Here's what makes FP Journe even more exceptional. There'll be no mass production, no factory lines, and when he retires, the brand won't continue without him in the same way. In his own words,
in 50 years, if I am no longer here, things will happen, but not Not with me.
So, every watch made today becomes part of a finite legacy, a record of one of the last great independent watchmakers of our time. That's why to collectors, owning a Journe isn't just a status symbol, it's owning a piece of horological history. How did FP Journe become one of the most respected watchmakers in the world?
Good
Not
point.
through fame, not through force, but through quiet obsession, relentless discipline, and an unwavering belief in doing things the right way, even.
Yeah, he's he's struggled for a long time. Let's be honest. I think when I got into the hobby, like in a really heavy way, started paying attention to stuff that's going on. That was around 2019. Well, I started. I think bought my first watch 2017, 16, and then 2019. I started learning a lot more about watches, and by 2019, FP Journe was still not very popular, and that's 20 years in. His watches were going below retail in 2019, way below. It was at that point when Watchbox started buying up FP Journes at mass because they could kind of see into the future, I think, and they knew, hey, there's the market is going to open up. There's going to be a lot of people coming in, and there's going to be one brand that they could kind of push and make it this flippable brand. And FP Journe was chosen. I think De Bethune was also chosen. Heavily invested into those two brands, but FP Journe, I think it's in a unique position. It's just he's so good. He's got so many models. He's got so many different movements, and he truly has really, really complicated, unique movements that he invented himself. I think FP Journe is very similar, I think, to Richard Mille, but it's one guy behind the brand. Like Richard Mille himself, I don't think he's a watchmaker. He's like a marketing guy, and then he outsources a lot of, especially in the beginning, they outsourced everything to be manufactured outhouse. But FP Journe, he made his watches himself, so that's a big deal. Like no other brand has been able, no other man has been able to achieve such well, maybe like Kari Voutilainen. I see, I think Kari, but Kari makes far fewer watches than FP Journe. And whilst he's got complications, they're very traditional. Kari is not like, he's known for his very traditional looking watches, whereas FP Journe, it's all about the technology. He's invented a lot of complications. See, Watchaholic says even the 1916 company could not save H. Moser and De Bethune, but FP Journe is one of their successes to hype up. Yes, at the FP Journe, it has certain mass market appeal. Like De Bethune, I think it's too like, I love the brand, to be honest. Like to me, De Bethune and FP Journe, they're both equally amazing. H. Moser, I don't think is on the same level with De Bethune and FP Journe. But the Bethune is a little bit more niche, whereas FP Journe feels like it could appeal to anyone and everyone in the world. Whereas like the Bethune, it's a little bit more hardcore because um, there's a lot of strange materials. The movements are very, very different from the norm. It's something that if you want to spice things up, and I think both brands could exist in the same world. Like a collector could definitely get a De Bethune and FP Journe, but also I think De Bethune, they make way fewer watches than FP Journe. Let me check here. De Bethune, how many watches make a year? Let's see, how many watches does De Bethune make a year? Oh yeah, so De Bethune makes 200 to 350 watches per year. That's a third of FP Journe. Plus, FP Journe has the Elegante. That's what the Bethune is missing. They're missing a cheapy piece, a cheapy watch that they could kind of you know, use as marketing material. That Elegante is, I believe, it's like a game changer for FP Journe. It's responsible for, I think, big part of the success of the brand.
if it's the hard way. In a world full of noise, Journe chose to build something timeless, and in doing so, it became unforgettable. That's the history of the incredible man and the incredible brand that is Francois-Paul Journe. What a story. I absolutely love it, and I love the craftsmanship behind.
Okay, there we go. I think we got the point there. Incredible stuff. Whoa, Brandy says Frankie put a copyright infringement. What? It's a it's gonna be a hollow copyright infringement. I don't think he's gonna be able to go through it with it, Brandy. You should fight for him to show actual evidence. And also, why would he do that? Uh, oh, also, I think there's updates. Brandy, if you have time, you want to join us on the stream, would love to chat about what the hell is going on because Aventi is back. I think they're back at their scamming ways, and just generally, there's a lot of drama that's going on in the watch space. Already won. Oh, you already won. Ah, dude, congratulations. Yeah, it's these guys are, got more bark than bite. Let's see, apologize or we'll sue. Man, the Aventi. Let me check the Aventi website. Aventi. Let's see. What are they going? What are they doing? Oh man, Aventi. They brought the website back. Damn, I don't think these people are gonna be getting anything back. It's over. I don't. Why? Why try to bring this back when it's too late? Like they already screw up the. See, oh my god, they got the application again. Register your interest, man. It's over. This is a dead brand. The only reason why they would wanna bring this thing back up is to continue probably taking orders. There's no way they're going to fulfill this stuff. Who would wanna take over a brand that's got like hundreds of thousands of dollars in outstanding orders? It makes no sense. But anyways, we might talk about that later if Brenny joins us on the stream. Also, I want to talk about this FP Journe, right? It's not just an FP Journe. It's going here through the article. This is Francis Ford Coppola's personal FP Journe. Let's see. It says in a bit of a brisk early morning bidding at Phillips New York watch auction. Actually, I got the catalog, guys. This is the catalog from the auction. I went to Phillips in New York City and picked it up. It says 10 years. Whoa. 10 years of Phillips auctions. This is a great resource to just like study watches. I try to pick these up as much as possible because they got really good information. I don't know if it's factual. Um, they write a lot, but some of it I guess is pretty cool, and they recycle uh the stuff. Like they'll write something up on the crayon, but then when the new crayon appears, they reuse the old stuff that they wrote about a watch. So a lot of recycling, but the photography is cool. I love the pictures, and I guess some basic facts are correct. But yeah, I almost got arrested trying to get this catalog. They really don't like me there at Phillips. I went in to get a catalog and they had a full on meltdown. But anyways, let's see here. The sale of this prototype, one of two in this configuration with the black and steel bridges, breaks the record for the most expensive FP Journe wristwatch previously set by Phillips in Geneva, 2024, at 8.3 million. The previous record holder was FP Journe's second wristwatch ever made. The first is still in his personal collection, but the convergence of storylines bridging the horological and pop culture film worlds resulted in a swift bidding, and after approximately 11 minutes of record sale, it also set the record for the most expensive watch by independent watchmaker ever sold. So this is a double whammy. Not only is this most expensive Peugeot, and it's also most expensive independent watch brand. Pretty brutal. Oh wow, oh wow. And that was how Aurel Box introduced the lot. The room seemed primed for the record result with aggressive and yet light-hearted bidding on the prior lot with an FP Journe Octa Calendrier black label which sold for over 600,000. Damn. Let's see it. Let's very quickly go here to the results. We got the auction results. Let's go from high to low. Let's see what ended here. Okay. Huh. Philip Dufour duality at number 1 doesn't seem to have sold, but look at this. Chronometer resonance subscription number 17 sold for 2.8 million. Whoa. That's freaking wild. Beautiful watch, by the way. Look at that. Number 17 of 20 pieces. Completely insane. 2.8 million. Holy shite. Let's see it. Look at this one. Uh, Black Label Octa Calendar. The Black Label, they're only available to like you have to have a previous purchase. If you bought FP Journe or a couple in the past, they'll sell you a Black Label. It'll take a couple of years as well. So this one sold in 2012. Wow, in New York. Man, can you believe it? This guy probably bought this watch for sub 100K and now sold it for 609,000. Jesus Christ. There's look at this. There's a second chronometer sovereign. This is a number. Let's see, that one was number 17. What about this one? What makes this one special? Because it sold for 584,000. My God. Then check this out. This one, Octa Reserve the Marsh, subscription number 17. Oh, this one is also number 17. My God, that sold for 774,000. FP Journe watches are just breaking sale records back to back to back to back. This is insanity. Let's see, for some reason I lost my lots. Okay, let's see what else. What else we've got here? Oh man, look at this. The Paddock that we were looking at yesterday, the double sealed platinum sold for 203,000. That's still pretty good. The Tiffany stamped Aquanaut sold for 95,000. Kind of weak. Look at this. Tiffany is kind of losing a bit of steam on the Aquanaut, at least. The 5711 sold for 554,000. Let's see. Ooh, the De Bethune, blacked out De Bethune, sold for $152,000. Rose Gold Royal Oak. Actually, this is cheap. Guys, the 15202 in full rose gold for 100K seems like a bargain because I kind of like this piece. It I really like this. Really dig it. Tim G sent us a video. Let's watch this video. Why FP Journe? Kevin O'Leary pushing FP Journe. Here we go.
FP Journe is considered the Picasso of watchmaking in the world. He's alive. And he only makes about 900 watches a year. They're the most coveted watches on earth. If you can get on his list and his good side to get one while he's alive. It's like buying a Picasso while Picasso was alive. And you know what happened to his prices afterwards. There was a meeting a few years ago where F.P. Journe had dinner with Francis Ford Coppola. He loves artists. And the two of them are cooking together. And Francis Ford Coppola says to him, have you ever made a watch that tells time with a hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the other digits figure out that the other 12 the remaining hours. And Francis Ford said, no one's ever done that. And he left that dinner. And 2 years later, wrote back, Francis Ford Coppola said, I have created this watch for you.
Holy
this
shit.
watch is right here
Oh,
on
he's
this
putting the
desk.
gloves on.
Wow.
Ready?
Holy
This watch is
Okay, so Kevin is a fucking genius, all right? He's spruiking the Francis Ford Coppola's own watch on national fucking news.
this prototype watch is
Don't
called
top it.
the Francis Ford Coppola. It is the prototype watch, the most famous watch in the
Wow.
world right now. It's Francis Ford's own
Oh, look at the hand configuration. It's doing this one. The Shaka.
watch.
And it goes on auction.
It
right?
goes on auction. It's going to go in New York on auction. The whole world knows about this. At
Well,
Philips.
now he knows. Now the whole world knows about it. Now that Kevin O'Leary showed it on national news. And look at
Here's
this.
the book. It's
Kevin O'Leary got the book.
on the front cover.
He got the book, guys. Kevin O'Leary got the book, The New York Watch Auction. Hold on, let me pull it up. We've got I'm not going to be able to find it. It's somewhere in here. Oh, wait. Right here. Boom. There it is, guys. There's the hand of Francis Ford Coppola.
Cover on the morning of the 6th around 10 o'clock. Nobody knows how much this watch is going to go for, but it
The estimated 1 million.
is the most coveted prototype on Earth because of the story of these two men are still alive.
Now, Francis Ford Coppola. Just to quickly rewind here, who the hell is Francis Ford Coppola?
So here you are, on one hand, it's trying to aspire to really do something. On the other hand, you're not allowed to be pretentious. And finally, you say, I don't care if I'm pretentious or not pretentious, or if I've done it or I haven't done it. All I know is that I am going to see this movie.
There are few filmmakers more revered than Francis Ford Coppola. And yet Coppola is unique in that his style can be difficult to define. Why do Coppola's movies all vary so greatly in aesthetic, mood, and content? And in the face of this, what makes a Coppola movie a Coppola movie? This is the directing style of Francis Ford Coppola.
This guy's a genius.
First, let us make an offer you can't refuse. Subscribe to Studio Binder and click the bell to stay in the know on all our filmmaking videos. Time for our journey up the river. Francis Ford Coppola is one of the fathers of New Hollywood, the movement of young filmmakers who took hold of the American film industry in the 1970s. He credits the groundbreaking nature of many of his movies to his willingness to take risks. Coppola explains, in the early days of the movies, they didn't know how to make movies. The cinema language happened by experimentation, by people not knowing what to do. An essential element of any art is risk. If you don't take a risk, then how are you going to make something really beautiful that hasn't been seen before? I was never afraid of risks. The only risk is to waste your life, so that when you die, you say, I wish I had done this. Coppola's penchant for experimentation has resulted in enormous success, as well as devastating failure. To understand Coppola as a filmmaker, one has to examine both sides of the coin, the highs and lows of his career.
But will it be commercially successful?
Well, I mean, how do I know?
As a young filmmaker, Coppola already showcased his
Oh my God, Coppola looks like what was his name? Oh my God, hold on a second. Let me rewind this. 1 second. My mind is blanking. What's this guy? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me just go back. Holy shit. Guys, who does that look like? Who does that remind you of in the watch space? Dude, this is crazy. Let me just try to find it in here. I can't believe it. Where is he? Where is he? Uh, oh my god. Uh, guys, doesn't that look exactly like Theo and Harris? Guys, seriously, that's crazy. He looks exactly like Theo and Harris.
As a young filmmaker, Coppola already showcased his thirst for experimentation. He stretched an ultra-low budget as far as he could under the tutelage of Roger Corman with the thriller Dementia 13,
Ooh,
and
Dementia
then
13.
learned how to manage a studio budget with the musical Finian's Rainbow. He then tried
I need to start watching these films.
something totally different with The Rain People, playing with editing techniques he borrowed from the French New Wave. But of course, it was his risk-taking in his next movie
Damn.
which changed the face of American cinema.
Godfather.
You don't even have to call me Godfather.
Francis Ford Coppola didn't want to make The Godfather. His production company, American Zoetrope, found itself in financial trouble the first of many times after funding George Lucas's THX 1138. So at first, The Godfather was little more than a paycheck. But as Coppola slowly got more invested in the project, he developed an idiosyncratic take on the material. Coppola and cinematographer Gordon Willis did nothing short of redefine the look of mainstream film.
Super chat from John Doe, £5. Fair enough. It's the man that created The Godfather. He's selling because he's broke. I still can't comprehend the prices these watches sell for. Well, why? Why do these watches sell for these prices? That's what we're trying to comprehend and find out here tonight on Talking Watches. Okay, so look, Francis Ford Coppola, The Godfather, fucking one of the greatest films ever made on the planet Earth, right? I think we could all agree on that, right? Let's see it. Where is The Godfather rated on IMDb as one of the greatest films ever made? Let's see here. The Godfather IMDb rating. Let's see it. See, it's got 9.2 stars out of 10. It's got 100 on the Metascore. Let's see. How can we look at 100 greatest films ever made? Here we go. Let's go to this is the list. Oh, whoa, The Godfather overtook The Shawshank Redemption. No freaking way. The Shawshank Redemption was the number one film on IMDb forever, but The Godfather finally beat him. So here's what you have to understand. You've got the director of the number one film ever made in history of life, at least according to people who kind of took the time and put the rating on IMDb. And IMDb is the biggest website for this type of a thing. So we've got, and FP Journe could be considered number one watchmaker in the world. So there you go. If you want to own a wristwatch that belong to number one filmmaker in the world. Yeah, okay, listen, like some people, I think, who was it? I think Brenny said he doesn't like Francis Ford Coppola's latest film. I didn't watch it, but you know, the guy made the greatest film ever made, right? Obviously, that's a freaking big deal, right? Not, once you made the first film, the best film in the world, it's kind of hard to follow it up, right? Let's see here. He's made, oh man, he's like, he's making work done. Shadow Brother Sunday, Megalopolis, that was a flop, only 4.7. And then Brother versus Brother. This is the latest film that he's put out. I haven't watched this. I really need to start catching up on some of these films. But I think we've got the point. Let's see here. My watch channel says his daughter has made some good films as well. Yeah, because making films is very similar to making wristwatches, right? Um, both kind of universes have similar kind of aspects to it. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how are
Hey,
you,
hey, hey.
Timmy?
How are you doing?
Good, good. I actually watched the auction live this morning.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It happened at Phillips.
yeah, and
Went
it
down.
was
What do you
actually it
think?
was interesting because it was it kind of like because I believe if I'm not mistaken what they set for estimates were 12 million, and it started out really slow.
Hmm.
I mean, at around 5-6 million, it looked like it's gonna stall. And then obviously, I think they had like three people that bid it up, and our friend Alexander Gutby was the one that had the winning bidder, and he also had the winning bidder on the other FP Journe, the number 17 subscription, which went for over $2 million. So it was really interesting. Now here, you don't buy this watch because it was a Francis Ford Coppola's. You buy it because if it's one of one, it's and have you seen how the hand? Because you got 10 fingers, and you have 12 hours. Have you seen how the hand actually shows you the time?
It's like a combination. It's got the
It's
shaka.
combination.
It's got
Yeah,
the different symbols. It's like using hand to, yeah. After five, you have to start knowing symbology. But I think the fact that it belonged to Francis Ford Coppola did
of
play
course.
into it, because he's the guy who made the number one film in the world. That is an incredible achievement to be able
Right.
to do. And you got the number one watchmaker in the world. They're both artists in different fields.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
The
Francis
whole
Ford
idea of
Coppola, right,
how it
challenged.
became.
Hmm.
Yeah, the whole idea that actually Francis Ford he's not just he didn't just own it, he came up with the idea, right?
Yeah.
And then, as you said, FB Journe made the watch for him, and it took him 2 years to first to buy the idea, and then to come up with a way to make that watch. So that's pretty cool. Now here, I'm going to tell you this. I think the watch that I hear, this is my personal opinion. I wonder if that hand was a different color. It wasn't just like deep black. If it would have added to aesthetics of the watch. Obviously, it's very, very well readable. I mean, you can read the time. You can see the hand very well. And I know this watch is not, people don't buy it because of what to tell what time it is, but they buy it because of the unique movement
Hmm.
and the way it tells the time. But also, it's about the aesthetics. I wonder if they had a different color than it's just like a deep black, if it would have added a little bit more to the look. But nonetheless, it is unique. Whoever bought it, they bought it probably because of the. And by the way, I think the buyer was not a dealer, because I think that I think it was a private owner. So that's the big deal, right? Because when you buy something like this at this level,
Yeah.
it's very tricky as a dealer to buy it and figure, hey, I'm going to flip it in a short period of time and make some money on it. I think, as you know, I think one of the guys that chatted or super chatted said, who would pay for something like this? It is a collector with the deep pockets that first this thing tickled their fancy, and they say, hey, I'm going to have the watch that nobody else can have. It's just like Paul Newman's Paul Newman. I'm going to have the watch that nobody else can have, right? It's the biggest flex that you can have when it comes to FP Journe. This is the biggest flex FP Journe there is, right? And just like the Paul Newman's Paul Newman was the biggest flex Daytona you can have, right? And that's what they're paying for.
And I think they got it for cheap, to be honest.
At some point in the future, I think we're gonna realize that, and we're gonna say, hey, it was cheap. But at this point, you can't say they got it for cheap. I mean, it's freaking over 10 million.
It's just look, there's so many ultra wealthy people out there, right? Like you've got
I know the money is the
Zuckerberg.
money is cheap to some people. I know the money is
Yeah.
cheap to some people, but for the rest of the 99.999% of the world, here, if somebody tells you here's a FP Journe, or I'm going to give you a nice little spot for you overlooking the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean, which one would you take?
Well, if it's one
So
or
you
the
can
other,
live in it. So you
if
can
it's
live in
one-
it, right?
If it's one or the other, but like I think people who are buying this stuff, they've got multiple properties over the
No, of course. No, I'm
Pacific
not talking. I'm not
already.
talking about. I'm not talking about
Houses are
those people.
common.
I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about those
Yeah.
people. I'm talking about the average Joe. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
I'm talking about most of the guys that are right now listening and they're in the chat. If
Oh, of
somebody
course, to
today
buy the
called you and
house.
said, "Hey, you know that FP Journe that went for 10 million? We're gonna give it free and clear, no taxes involved, no nothing. You can have that one, or you can have a house, a $10.5 million house somewhere. Which one would you want it? I would take the freaking house."
Yeah, of course. If it's one or the other, there's no
Yeah.
question about it. But like, we're talking if you got $1 billion and you can get one really nice watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. Of
This is
course,
probably the best money could
of
buy.
course. It's not just the best money you can buy, what you can buy. It's the biggest flex there is in the world of FP Journe. I mean, somebody that buys this is a guy that's been at all these events and get-togethers, and everybody's got the biggest flex watch that they have. This guy's gonna walk in, but even if half of the room has FP Journes, who's gonna top this piece? Right?
Really
Who's
can't be
going to top
topped.
this piece? Nobody's going to top this
Yeah.
piece. So it's the ultimate flex, no doubt about it. If you're a billionaire, go for
Yeah.
it. God bless you. Congratulations. But if you're talking about if it's a value, shit. If you give me a $7 million property right now, I'll take it over this watch. Let's face
Right.
it. For an average guy, it doesn't. So that's why I'm saying in the future, yes, I get it. In the future, when this thing goes for multiple of what this guy paid, and then you're gonna look in retrospect and you're gonna say, oh yeah, that was a damn good buy that the guy had. That was pretty smart.
Yeah,
That
you
was
also
pretty
have to know
smart.
how you sell this in the future later down the road. So you can't just be buying this. You have to be buying this as some type of a collector. You have to know what you're doing, basically,
Yeah, exactly. But
to get this.
it would be interesting to see if it comes out who bought it, because
I bet it's gonna be some kind of some Middle East investor to buy it for a museum, because that's what I would do.
Do you know who else could be? It could be some European aristocrat with. It could be new money, or it
It
could
could
be
be a
some.
a fan
Anybody.
of Francis Ford Coppola's films. Like that,
It
like
could be. It
I
could
would
be.
buy it for that reason. See, to me, I wouldn't buy this because it's an FP Journe, and like a unique piece. No, you buy it because you're a fan of Francis Ford Coppola's films, a
Yeah.
filmmaker. It's not so much about FP Journe here. It's about the watchmaker. John Doe says that the Francis Ford Coppola has to sell this watch because his latest film flopped and he put about a bunch of money. But that's the beauty of wristwatches, the fact that he could do it and then he could sponsor and make another film, and
Uh,
continue making films. That's amazing that
So
watches do that.
John Doe. If I were Francis Ford Coppola and I had a financial issue, and these guys have multiple properties, right? I would rather sell what if since that watch is mine, and
Yeah.
and here I'm gonna flip a little bit on this different angle. Since I talked to to FP Journe, and he made it for me. It took him 2 years to come up with the idea and make it for me, and he presented to me, and because of the stature of FP Journe out there, I would sell one of my properties and hold on to this watch. If
Really?
I were Francis Ford Coppola, I would have sold the property and hold on to this watch just
Well, we don't
because of
know.
what this watch means, right?
Right. You mean but you know what? But like also Francis Ford Coppola selling this watch is doing a favor to FP Journe as well,
Because
because
this is the highest watch FP Journe watch that went at the auction. Absolutely, you're 100% right.
exactly, it
100%
brings
you're
up
right.
it levels up the brand FP
Yeah,
Journe.
yeah.
So and then FP Journe will make another watch for him, maybe later down the road, or
Well, I don't know
he
if
could probably
maybe.
buy another FP Journe,
Well,
but
he
selling
has
this
to have
one.
the money. He has to have the money. He has to top this one. Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
The Apocalypse Now. Who made that?
Yeah,
Who made that movie?
that's Francis Ford Coppola.
Doesn't the hand? When I saw the hand, I didn't even know this was Francis Ford Coppola's. When I
Yeah.
very first time that I saw that and I saw that hand, it reminded me of. For some reason, I connected it with Apocalypse Now,
Mhm.
because of because of this. In the army they have that symbol. I don't know exactly what is it. That's the black fist, raised black fist. What do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about? There's a black fist that's a insignia, some military significance. I'm sorry, I forgot what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
means.
you're talking
Yeah,
yeah, the PNG, the freedom, like a raised black fist of freedom.
no,
It's like a
yeah, but it's military based, right? It's military based. If you take this hand and you have all the fingers make like a punch, like looking hand, it reminds you of that, and that's why when I saw
Mhm.
this watch for the first time, for some reason I thought, hey, this is for uh, Apocalypse Now, because because it is Francis Ford Coppola and Apocalypse Now, and that hand just it connected the two dots for me. So I just wanted to share that with you. It doesn't mean anything, but
When
anyways,
was Apocalypse Now made? That was what, like the 70s? When
either late
you remember?
70s or early 80s. I think it was
Okay.
late 70s or early 80s, if I'm not
One of
mistaken.
his earlier films, right?
Yeah,
Still young guy.
it was definitely. It was. I think it was definitely. It was definitely after Godfather.
And there's some watches that were featured in there.
Yeah,
A few watches, right? That became really popular. A Seiko and a
yeah,
Rolex GMT
yeah,
Master 2
yeah,
that came out of there. So Francis Ford Coppola, he's like a big watch guy
yeah,
himself, and for
yeah,
him to get a watch from another watch artist, it's a pretty big deal.
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's 1979 actually.
yeah. That's what I figured. It was after. It was after. Man, what a decade he had. He came up with Godfather, and then he came up with Apocalypse Now. Wow,
Yeah, right.
wow, wow, wow.
Legend, absolute
Legend.
Look, he
Jeez.
made The Godfather. He made The Conversation. Uh, Let's see what else. What else? What's his in
I mean,
filmography?
think about all the epic movies. I mean, you had the Star Wars that came out in that decade. I mean,
Oh,
amazing
he
filmmaking, right?
produced Odyssey in 1997.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was his.
So the
Wow.
second, the second 2000, what was that? The 2001 or Odyssey. You're talking about that
1997 Odyssey.
19.
This one right here.
Okay.
Oh, with what's his name? Armando Asante. Armand Armand Asante. Armand Asante.
Yeah.
This
No,
was
it's
real. I used to really love this film. I watched it as a kid in Ukraine many times, and I'm really excited for the remake that's coming up, making another one. This
which
was
one is it?
epic.
Show it to me again. I was driving. I missed the picture.
So this one, this is the 1997 Odyssey.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
You've seen this one, right? It's
No, I
really well
haven't.
made. I think it's actually it holds up. I think even to today.
No, I didn't see that one.
Really?
No, I haven't.
What? Oh, it's a must see. It's great. I
Yeah.
actually like. I think it. That's why I kind of like. I don't even think it needs a remake. It's just so well done.
Yeah.
Uh, even they use a lot of like practical effects, so it just looks good even
Yeah.
to this day. Very very good film.
Yeah. No, it's by the way, it's so kudos to Philips, man. They're coming out with bangers one after the other at
Yeah.
every single one of their auctions, man. I mean, Jesus. And the way they promoted the interview they had with, you saw that, right, with Francis Ford Coppola and FP Journe.
Yep.
uh, and they had that interview, and they had one of their guys that did the interview, and what's his name, Bach was the barista for them. They were at this Italian restaurant, and uh, Bach was, it's Bach, right, the guy, the auctioneer.
Ariel Box. Yeah.
Ariel Box, yeah, Ariel Box. He actually was the one that was going to the kitchen and bring him the coffee. So yes,
Yeah.
it was interesting. It was really
That's
interesting.
that's really important. I think it's what gave this this auction a lot of legitimacy to bring
A
them all
lot of
together.
hype, and background information, and I actually forwarded you the video. I don't know.
I have it
I,
right here.
yeah,
I can play it.
I when it came out, when I saw it, I emailed it to you. I emailed you
Hmm.
the link. I figured you're gonna see it anyways, but I just want to make sure you don't miss it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I think it's worth playing it on the stream, to rewatch it, so people can understand like how what led up to how was this orchestrated
Yeah,
to sell for such a big amount, because these are all heavy hitters that like this is done with the approval of FP Journe,
yeah.
and they're making these moves to build the brand, because like that's what you need to do. Like you have to make big headlines
Well,
to
yeah.
social proof.
Yeah, I mean, the brand for FP Journe is already made. What they're doing is it's all about, let's get the most money, and then when they get this watch, when this watch sold for this dollar amount,
Yeah.
guess what? Whoever in the future that has these big watches, where they're gonna go? They're gonna go to Christie's, or they're gonna go to Sotheby's, or they're gonna go to Philips. They're gonna go to Philips. This
Yeah.
is this watch is not just one watch. They made the money. It's just everything. They're building the Philips brand. That's what they're building.
They're building.
It's not.
Yeah.
They're not
This
building
is
the
a
Peugeot brand. It's Philips brand is being built. Philips is
right.
the one that Philips actually here. Two people. F. Peugeot's going to sell his watches no matter what, right? Okay, it's two people benefited from this. Okay, aside from Coppola that sold it, but it's Philips that benefited, and whoever has an F. Peugeot that benefited.
I think
These
there's
are
a
the two groups.
possibility, Sean. I think there's a possibility that Phillips did not charge Francis Ford Coppola for
Probably,
like
yeah,
the fees the regular
Yeah.
fees that they do. Like, for example, they
Absolutely.
did an auction with Sylvester Stallone. I bet they
Yeah.
didn't charge Sylvester Stallone because the Phillips now gets an exposure from Francis Ford Coppola. Like, there's going to be people who are fans of the film who are going to find out that, oh, there's a Phillips auction exists. What is that? And
Of course they did. They didn't charge because they're collecting. What is that? 27% they're collecting. What are they
yeah,
collecting?
like 25%. That's for regular,
Yeah, yeah.
show
So
smoke.
of course, it's the guys bring him a freaking a golden goose.
Yeah,
They're gonna charge the guy? No, of course not. If anything, they may even throw some perks at the guy after the
right.
watch sells. Are you
Well,
kidding me?
this dinner was obviously paid for by Phillips over here at this wine restaurant, right? Uh,
Yeah,
they they filmed it. They probably, Phillips took them out. So, to do the video, right? All of this had to have been paid for by Phillips.
yeah,
To document and build up this hype uh around this watch, what it is.
yeah,
Um, that's a good perk. Kind of couple of days out uh, you know, to just chat and have a couple of meals to do it at the dinner.
yeah,
Um, I bet like there's some other probably the access, to aerial box, a obviously future deal. They could be thinking what they could do in the future, and this is great for these guys because Francis Ford Coppola, he wants to keep making films, obviously, and
yeah,
for him to be able to make money on the side, to spend a couple of days to make $10 million to fuel the passion, uh, his other passion that he is known for. He's not a watchmaker, but for him, it's expensive to make films, right? You know, I think was it the John Doe said the Megalopolis flopped, so he lost probably millions on that. But if you can sell a watch on the side and then recoup the loss and keep making films, that's beautiful. That's what it's all
yeah,
about,
yeah. 100%. 100%.
you know.
Hey, Timmy, I'm gonna say goodbye. I have to stop somewhere. I'll catch up with you later.
Thank you,
And
Sean. Thank you for joining
hello
us.
to all the gang in the chat. Have a great weekend. We may chat tomorrow on the stream.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely. If
brother.
you're able to join, see you tomorrow. Take care.
Definitely. Take care. Bye bye. Bye.
Take care. Link is pinned if anybody wants to join. Let's watch this interview and see how it led up to this
I
auction.
want to talk BS before I talk about the timepiece on my wrist, but why are we wearing the same shirt? How did that happen? What are the odds?
Outfit coordination.
It's very unusual. It shows a synchronicity.
You guys are in sync in resonance.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh,
resonance.
Godard was. I met Godard. Godard said that every work of art has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but not necessarily in that order.
Voilà. Ok.
I was exploring these beautiful watches made in Europe, basically, and one struck me as being especially attractive, which was F.P. Journe. And I sort of hinted to my wife that I would love to have a birthday present, and I would even supply the money for the birthday present, and she was very gracious, and she got it for me, and that's how I had my first one, which was an absolute treasure to me. 150 years ago, there was a fascination, and I was sure that there must have been a watch that was an automaton's hand. And I thought about it, and I said, well, you can have, this could be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. That's Ucorno, by the way. So I said to him, and he said, well, that's a very crazy idea. And he did so, he looked into it, And I think he told me that he didn't believe there was ever a clock like that, and it was possible to do mechanically. Obviously, with an electronic watch, it's just a picture, but to really have a mechanism that could do that would be very difficult. So he said, "Let me think about it." And then I think years went by, and I got a letter back saying, "I think I know how to do it." And by then I had forgotten what it was we were talking about. But he began to create a movement that could tell with a hand the time. With
so
just five
freaking cool.
digits, you can say every hour. He did some exploration and found some precedents of not timepieces that were automatons.
He sent me a picture of a hand of Ambroise Paré.
And he used that as an inspiration and actually built one in time for the big auction. And we didn't know what it would auction for. We thought, oh, it could sell for as much as $400,000, maybe $500,000. We had no idea. And so there was the moment of suspense when there was the big auction.
For me, it's a more innovative watch I made because it doesn't exist before.
That's
never,
it.
Never.
There never was a watch that told time with a hand.
Why are you deciding to part with the watch?
You see, I'm running out of time. I'm 86 years old. I had an uncle who lived to be 102. The important thing is that I have a great memory. And I want to be sure that my children keep up the tradition that the family is based on, which is basically music and mechanics, those two things, which is cinema. To ensure that I can keep the family doing this, I'm going to endow them with the great value of these few watches that I've managed to collect, which
Incredible.
are my jewels, but which can also keep the family tradition going for years from now.
It's the only timepiece not designed by Francois Paul. It's really designed by you, the idea, and
It's like Francis Ford
Collab.
Coppola, FP Journe fait it.
which makes it extremely special.
Well, it's a collaboration.
And the only one ever.
Well, these things are collaborations of many, many talented people. Creativity is not just done only by one solitary person, but by the unique enjoyment of working together. I once said, collaboration is the sex of creativity because it's in collaboration that we find joy and we find solutions together. Whether it's a master work such as Jean Paul's work, still it involves collaboration, or whether it's a film, which my wife's film Hearts of Darkness demonstrates, it is a group of people playing together.
Mickey says, finally, we're talking about watches I can afford. Oh, man. Obviously, I don't think anybody can afford this watch right here, but I think it's important to talk about kind of like just watches at every level and just try to understand what this hobby is all about. And this is an important conversation, I think, to have. Uh, how this watch came about, because like watches is art, and art is watches, and it's a cool story. I think at the end of the day, it's all about the stories, right? That's the only thing that's left, right? The stories, and watches tell stories. Every watch that every individual owns, it tells their story. Where did you wear that watch? What did you do with it? It's at the end of the day, it's all the stories. And that's why people pay big money. It's not they don't pay for the watch. They pay for the story, right? This this hand watch didn't sell for $1 million because $8 million because there was $8 million worth of gold in it. No, there was something that's more valuable than gold because there's lots of gold out there, but there's only one Francis. Uh, there's only one FP Journe. There's only one Francis Ford Coppola, and there's only one collab that they've done together where they put their creativity kind of together and came up with this watch. So, and it's a story behind the watch that's valuable. That story can't be replicated. There's only one story.
Doing what they love, not toiling.
And maybe understanding that can make us understand why we like watches. Like I like my Daytona. It means a lot to me how I got it, the story behind it. And I think I'm just happy with that one. Gonna get rid of the rest
Together, but playing
and
together
continue my
that
story.
brings about these beautiful results.
Yeah. Can you talk about putting your entire heart and soul into a project that takes you to your limits?
Well, I do it all the time because it's not just your heart and soul, it's also all your money. When I put $100 million in to make a movie I believe in, it's not like I have another $100 million. That's my last $100 million. It's not like I have $1 billion on the side so I can lose $100 million. If I lose $100 million, I lose everything. You have to ask yourself, what is more important, money or fulfillment? And
Mhm.
the answer is fulfillment.
And I think
This is the film that he put in he put in $100 million into Megalopolis, and I think they say it's a flop, but who knows where it's gonna go from here. Let's just watch the trailer real quick. This is the 100 million. Apparently he lost tons of money on this one, or all the money. Made Apocalypse Now. This is his big creation, and somehow it flopped.
Empire die.
I haven't seen this film.
Gentlemen, I
I need to watch it now. It looks amazing. Adam Driver. Whoa. Shia LaBeouf. What? It's got some legendary cast here. It's an overkill.
We're in need of a great debate about the future.
Whoa. Megalopolis. A fable. Holy shit. Is it in theaters now? Let's see here. Man. Oh no, it's 2024. I totally missed it. Guess it was bad timing for that film to come out. But okay, he lost all his money. He could have made it big, but sometimes just because movie or film is not a commercial success doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It just doesn't appeal to the people at that time, And a lot of it is marketing
think,
too.
Francois Paul, you carry that same spirit. You create timepieces to make you fulfilled.
Yeah.
Be damned with what the market thinks.
Yeah, he made a film that he wanted to make. He spent $100 million. He didn't make the money back, but it doesn't matter because you know what? The film now exists. That vision that Francis Ford Coppola had in his head, he made it into reality. He's not gonna make his money back. So who gives a shit? Who cares? It's just money. At the end of the day, money comes, money goes. It's fucking irrelevant. What's most important is Megalopolis exists now. It's a real film. Hey, Mickey.
You sucked me in with that last comment. If he can't flip this film and double his money, then he's not a successful film.
No, I'm saying no. To him, it's successful because the film exists. It doesn't matter that whether he can make money off of it or not.
Tim,
Obviously, if he
don't
made
argue
money
with
of
me.
it, it
I'm
would have
just
been.
busting your balls. Yesterday you said if you can't flip a watch and make money on it, it's not a successful watch.
No.
Forget it.
No, listen. Success means different things to different people. For example, so here, to him, it's a success because he took a risk, he made the film, and it exists. The fact that people don't like it, it doesn't. Like to the studio, obviously, and other people who invested in that film that were hoping to triple, quadruple their money on their investment from the film. Obviously, they're disappointed because the film is not a commercial success. But just because something is not a commercial success doesn't mean that it's not a success. I think the fact
I'm
that the film
agreeing with you.
exists, that's a success.
I'm agreeing with you, but
Yeah.
it's the opposite of what we said yesterday about watches. That you had to be able to flip them and make money. And some of the people were saying then every watch that you can't flip was a success, and that was your theory. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just being a smartass. I'm agreeing with you. Just like the watches, just because you can't flip it and there aren't 7,500 cubituses, that doesn't define success. Is all I was saying. I was relating it to yesterday's conversation with watches.
Hey, Magic City. No, I think you misunderstood me. I think I said
sure I
it's
did.
a success, the fact that it exists, and it's a double success if it can make if you can make money on it. It's a even better success. I didn't say it's not a success. It's a failure. No, it's a success, or it's an even bigger success. If it's a success that the film has been made and it looks like a great film, and is it commercially successful? It seems to be not. But you know what? Like the fact that it exists, it could become success later down the road. Van Gogh died broke. His paintings did not sell for anything for many years after his death. They only became commercial success like 300 years after his death, right? Hey, Magic City.
He was ahead of his time.
But
he was ahead of his time. They didn't understand it.
He was a failure at the time
to
everyone.
He was ahead of his time, and people didn't understand the art until later. Was it appreciated?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if it was a success later and not when he was alive, that means that people didn't appreciate it when he was alive, and then later. So he was ahead of his time. You could say it, or don't say he's ahead of his time.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's the definition of ahead of his time. I make something and people say it's shit, and then 30 years later, people go, "Oh my God, this is the Holy Grail." I was ahead of my time. The people in my time didn't appreciate it, and then when
that's the definition. Yeah, that's literally the definition of ahead of his time. Yeah.
Right. Magic City.
Yeah.
Vincent van Gogh. By the way, I spell it like it's spelled in Dutch because Vincent van Gogh was Dutch, so his name is Vincent van Gogh. And he died poor.
Yeah,
that's what Tim just said.
He was a failure. Everybody called him a failure. I guess at that time he would be considered a failure. Now he's one of the most legendary painters of all time.
You know, it's a great movie that we've seen several times. It's called At Eternity's Gate, and it's William Dafoe plays Vincent van Gogh in it. It came out in like 2018, and we saw it because there was a Vincent van Gogh exhibition here in Atlanta a couple of years ago. They had something, and after that we really got into that, and so we watched this movie, and we've watched it multiple times. If anyone cares to see it, it's really it's his life story and about how he was crazy and you know, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's called At Eternity's Gate.
At Eternity's Gate. Let me write it down.
Yeah, write it down, and then I'm sure you can, like, if you just Google it, you'll see a picture of William Dafoe, and he kind of looks like him. You know, he chops off his ear in the movie, and he's hanging around like different. I didn't realize, so I watched the movie, but a lot of these artists that we know were all living and starving artists at the same time. I can't think of their names. Maybe Magic City would know.
Ja, Rembrandt van Rijn. Hall. You had at the time there was the golden age of the Dutch painters.
Yeah.
Mike Lewis knew a lot about that. He was into the art of the old Dutch painters a lot, because I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm always surprised how much these Dutch painters are more famous outside of the Netherlands than in the Netherlands, because for us it's okay.
Yeah, Marco just said that's a great movie. So I'm telling you, Tim, you would like it. If you pull it up, you can play a clip on YouTube since we're talking about it, but don't worry about it. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your Magic City.
But the reason why I popped on,
Gauguin. Yeah.
Mike Lewis is not there, but so I have to replace him a little bit. But you were talking about Francis Coppola. Look what I found in my home.
There you go.
I see.
I've had that many times. I was out of his. He sold his wineries for this film too.
Yeah.
He sold like.
He sold it too. Okay.
He sold the winery in Sonoma. If you Google it to fund Megalopolis. So I'm glad I got to visit. I think it's in Gyersville, California, or somewhere. But anyway, yeah, he sold. He's getting older too, so he's probably seeing it as like, I might as well liquidate all this stuff that I won't be around to enjoy and leave. Oh, did he? And then leave something that's everlasting.
Yeah.
Exactly. He said he's doing. He literally said in the interview that the reason he sold it because he lost all his money and he wants to leave something for his kids.
Yeah.
It's like, I lost all the money. But I think maybe the movie is not a commercial success right now, but the fact that that movie exists, it means it'll generate income for many years to come. Maybe it'll become a cult classic. It'll get rediscovered. It'll go on Netflix or something. And who knows? Like, this stuff, once you create something, just like Vincent van Gogh's painting, the fact that they existed in 200 years, it could become the biggest film of all time. It just might not be appreciated yet. I didn't realize that Godfather overtook Shawshank Redemption on IMDb, but that's a big deal. The Godfather is now #1 film of all time.
Wait, and what's the name of this film?
The Megalopolis.
Okay, so I was thinking there's an old movie called Metropolis.
I think it's like a remake or something.
Oh, is it?
The way it looks. Look at the visuals. It's New York City, Grand Central Terminal. Look at that.
Yeah,
and
it looks. Yeah, it's like a modern version of Metropolis, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you should have called it Megaflopolis.
Yeah, well, maybe one day he'll get used in a music video. Remember, Metropolis that was the background. John Boyd. Metropolis was the background for that Queen video, Radio Gaga, when they showed all those black and white images. Random Mickey thought, but so yeah. Is it like 3.5 hours long too? Is it one of those?
It's probably why it kind of failed, because it's a film for watch enthusiasts and not like a mass-produced piece of shit that's really popular, right? Yeah, everybody's addicted to like shorts nowadays, so they have very short attention span. So this type of film was gonna be a flop. Like I would have predicted something like this. Let's see how long it's 2 hours 18 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, well, it's pushing 3 hours.
Well, 2 hours 18 minutes is
1 hour 30 minutes is like the formula, no?
Yeah, I feel cheated with an 1.5-hour movie.
Yeah, let's see it. Oh, I have to put in birthday.
If a movie is good, you don't have a feeling about 1.5 hour, 2 hours. It gets you hooked, and before you know it's over. When it's a real good movie.
Yeah.
The Godfathers were also long, huh? Were
The
long
Godfather
movies.
was very long, yeah. But back then it was a little bit easier because people had, it's like you get desensitized to stuff, right? You watch The Godfather; it's such a good film. How do you top it? It's like, but when Francis Ford Coppola was making films back in the 70s, like what they were saying, films were still so new. People
Mhm.
didn't really know how to make films well, like what works, right? They were just discovering the stuff. Same thing with social media. A lot of these shorts, they were figuring stuff out. Now they figured it out, and it's like their stuff is so addicting. They have all they do all these different tricks, the hook, the whatever, like to keep the audience wrapped up. It's kind of hard to do a film that appeals to people that have very short attention span.
Yeah.
So I think this is like a long term plan or play, because like look at the fucking cinematics here. Like obviously they spend so much money to
It
create
looks
these sets.
looks as an expensive movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
right.
I'm seeing a lot of actors that I know their faces, so they all cost money. They didn't do it for free.
Exactly. It's like money, like unlimited budget. Just like if it looks like this is his grand exit film, like culmination of all of his work, right? Because in the past um he was always like struggling with the budget uh, constraints, and this looks like this is the type of film where he said like fuck it, he's the biggest sponsor of the film, of the budget, 100 million of his own money. So this is like all the money he's made in his life from other films that he put in to make this thing a reality. You got to give respect to the guy, to put his money where his mouth is, and just make something, and not make something that's guaranteed to be a commercial success. Just make something that you wanna make. I want to see this film now. It looks really interesting. It's like
What's the premise
Cold
of it?
War.
What's the premise of it?
I mean, look at this. It looks like Cold War kind of protest, kind of. Let's watch it. Let's watch.
He's been
It looks like okay. It looks like the fall of United States. How the way the Rome fell, how United States falls. Okay.
of his time.
Watch it.
Time stop!
Go. Now, from visionary writer and director Francis Ford Coppola, comes an event nothing can prepare you for.
Imagine today's society as a branch of civilization about to reach a dead end. Is this way we're living the only one that's available to us? My plan is a city that people can dream about.
The megalopolis.
What about those standing in your way? You like it the way it is.
People don't need dreams.
This movie's a
People need
mess.
help now. Don't let the now destroy the forever.
We're in need of a great debate about the future.
Enjoy the show.
1, 2, 3. Yippee yay.
Okay, it's just relisting actors.
I
But-
wouldn't watch that if it was the last movie on the planet.
Why not? What's wrong with it?
It's just ridiculousness. It's all over the place. Like you show me Godfather 2, I watch it. You show me Schindler's List, I want to watch it. You show me movies that have like real meaning, movies that have like I love messages, but this is just this might as well be what's the movie?
Maybe it's a bad trailer. Did you think about that? What if it's just bad?
Maybe,
trailer?
but the trailer is usually the best parts of the movie.
Well, but the trailer doesn't actually say much about the movie. The trailer is marketing material. They're trying to sell this film maybe as something else than what it actually is. See, it's one thing to make a film, but then sell the film. Sometimes this trailer seems like a clickbaity type of thing where they sell it as one thing, but in reality, it looks like a very complex film. Like you see it, like they had the Coliseum, right?
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah, well, it's about complicated subject, right? Let's actually see what's the summary. Okay, here we go. Here's the summary. Okay, reviewers say Megalopolis by Francis Ford Coppola is visually stunning yet divisive. Themes of societal decay, corruption, and tradition versus progress resonate. So basically, it's like they're saying maybe like by the looks from the trailer, it looks to me like okay, like United States society comes to like a choice, like
Does it
where we're
say
gonna go from here.
is it say it's the United States or is it some mythical country or land?
And well, good point. It
Or
looks
is
like
that
United
is that
States.
just your anti-American kicking in under?
No, I'm just looking there. So okay, here we go. So that was actually okay.
Thank
Storyline:
thank you, Benjamin.
Cesar Catalina is a head of development authority of New Rome, a master architect and city planner. He has a grand utopia vision for New Rome, megalopolis. However, his vision and methods see him fall foul of city's major
Ma-
Frank Cicero, resulting in a bitter feud between the two. The major is not the only person Catalonia needs to worry about. Seeing an opportunity, Catalonia's cousin undermines him at every turn in his own bid for power. See, it's politics, okay? It's all about politics. So I guess the New Rome is the like New York, and
Or
like
New London or New St. Petersburg. I mean, I don't know why it's New York.
it's about crafting societies. Okay, I think that's what the film is about. It's crafting society. If you had the power, if you were in charge, how would you craft society? Would you craft it in such a way that the that redistributes wealth equally among the people, or would you craft it in such a way where
No, of course
one
not.
group gets more than the other? Would you no, because it's like that's what the society crafting is all about. How do you do it? Capitalism versus Marxism versus socialism versus fascism. You know, how do you craft
Let's not go
society?
there. Let's not
And
go
then
there.
no,
The
no, we're
only
not going anywhere. I'm
yeah
just saying the film
yeah.
is about society crafting, like right, because the guy is an architect and he wants to plan the perfect world, right? That's what everybody who gets into power, they want to craft or manipulate the society to make it better. Or but when you make it better, it's better for some, worse for the others. And how do you do it? So it's interesting. I love this stuff because I love politics. I love shit like this. What do you don't like it? Okay. Well, look.
I just want I at this point, like what's the God, I can't think of the name. What's the movie that has like has that people have to fight each other? It's been a long in like to the death, and there's like 7 movies now. What the fuck?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. So like when
Yeah.
we saw the first Hunger Games, I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then my family loved it, and I stopped watching. And I said, this is just bullshit. Like there's a certain point where like I need like realistic stuff. And that's just me. I'm black and white. Like I'd much rather watch Saving Private Ryan than something, or but or the Capote movie. I love history. I love things. This is just fanciful storyline that in
It's a
his head,
fantasy. Yeah, it's a
in
fable.
his
It
head, it
says
was
it's a
this
fable.
amazing story. And guess what? He was spending $100 million, and people were
Yeah.
taking his money. No one was going to say, "Don't make this film," and they should have.
Well, but look, if he wanted to make this film, And you know what? Look, he was probably told that this is going to be a flop. That's why he had to spend his money.
Because
Right?
no one wanted to back it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Well, that's the gamble, though, because if it isn't a flop, he gets all the windfall. So, like, if
Sure.
you get investors, then you have to pay them out. You
Yes.
know,
If it's all about risk and reward, right? He took all the risk, and
Yeah.
okay, and look, and it doesn't mean that he lost the money. The film exists, and maybe in the future, I think. Look, it seems like to be a really complex film where people can, dissect it, study it, and it could actually have influence on the real world, because I think that's what everybody's wants to do, right? They want to make the world, better. Everybody wants to make the world better, right? And the film seems to be like it's about the struggle and the difficulty.
Not New York City.
Not
the
New York.
fucking New York City.
And okay.
I finished it. I finished it 4:30. Oh my god! I finished 4:30. How long it takes? The fucking old train is not running.
Okay. Why? Is it because we got the new mayor?
Electric malfunction, whatever. So like no Q. First of all, Q3 shuttle bus, right?
Yeah.
But even no, in Manhattan, just uptown, no train. Take a R to take a shuttle bus again to Atlantic
Is it because
Avenue.
like accident on the train?
No, it's fucking, this fucking capitalism. This country doesn't fucking care for the people who are using for public transportation.
Yeah.
They don't.
The public transportation is a disaster.
They just fuck around like a middle class people. They don't care.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I finished at 4:30. What is the time is that?
2 hours to get home.
This is kind of going to Boston from New York. What the fuck? Really serious? I was so pissed. I went to the app train there. No app train.
Yeah.
No app train for 40 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? For 40 minutes to take a train?
Right.
And whole people is packed because suddenly they change, I guess. So I went to Q train and no Q train definitely. So I tried to take no N train. No,
it's a disaster. It's a disaster.
No fucking train. Take a R to transfer.
Do not invest in New York City public transit.
No plans.
And the worst part is just like the public schools, they probably put so much money into it, and it still is a failure.
England, like London, like in
No, but okay, we got the point. We got the point, roommate.
I thought it was same. No.
Yeah.
Just choose to either London or Australia or Canada. No fuck in New York. This country. This is the capital. If you don't have money, don't come to New York. Fuck that shit.
Okay. Well, how about moving closer? How about moving closer to where you work or getting a car?
And I'm working again tomorrow.
She's working tomorrow again. Yeah, it's the holidays. That's why.
Timmy, no bang bang tonight.
No bang bang. No, it's for 4 days because she's working 4 days. 12 hours a day, so it's
to come back on this watch. I agree with Sean. I would never sold this watch because this watch, okay, it's sold for 10 million. There's only way that's up for this watch in the future.
Hey,
because it's a piece unique.
Can I say one thing about that film and we'll move on? I just googled. It actually had a budget of 120 million. And it grossed only 14.4 million worldwide, making it one of the biggest box office failures of all time. It only opened to $4 million worldwide. And then you think about like something like Mission Impossible does, whatever, making up a number, 200 million the first weekend or something. Wow, that's a failure. He needed this watch to be sold for sure. But go ahead.
Yeah, very unfortunate that it like flopped so hard. I can't believe it. Like, how is that?
It sucks.
It was not the only watch he sold. He had more FP ones. There were
and a winery. I don't know what a winery costs, but that's a couple shekels.
Yeah. And,
very unfortunate.
It's surprising that that he produced Godfather, and he cannot finance the revenue of the Godfather after all these years. with 100 million. You know.
Well, but
It's
this is the anti-Godfather movie, though. You know, when it comes to just this crazy storyline and
Yeah.
production, if he would have done something gritty and real that he's known for, it probably would have been his pièce de résistance, his greatest thing ever. He probably, even if it wasn't that great, they would have, because he's older and won't be around longer, they probably would have rewarded him. But he just went to left field, you know.
Well,
He
look,
made a Flash Gordon, or he
But
made some crazy movie, you know.
but here's the thing. I respect him for this.
Oh,
Because
sure.
he didn't make The Godfather Part 4, right? He
Yeah,
could
well,
have cashed
Godfather
in.
3 sucks. Let me say that. So I'm glad he didn't make Godfather 4.
Yeah, because I mean, he could have made Part 4, Part 5, and kept going with that stuff.
Oh, interesting. Todd Levin's in the chat. To be
Shout out
clear,
to
this
Todd Levin.
watch is the prototype, but it's not unique. Journe has produced others since.
Yeah.
Wow, that,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. This is not one of one. Well, it's one of one because it's the prototype.
and
But this is
Coppola
available.
owned it.
Yeah, and Coppola owned it. And there's people in the watch community on the wait list to get this watch. And I think Zuckerberg has one, right? Zuckerberg.
And what does it go? What does the non-prototype one go for?
1 million, I think. I think the retail for it is like 1 million, or close to 1 million, or like
Yeah.
600,000.
I think I would buy one of those if I was going to buy one, which I'm not.
Yeah, agree.
It's super kind of just rare. It's his most exclusive watch, I guess you can put it that way. Maybe it's possible to have it customized for you if you're like one of the lucky people who he approves to sell it to you. Maybe you could change the color of the fist. Maybe not, though. That would make it a little bit more unique, but yeah, it would have to be for a very specific person. Like if he makes another one for Coppola and makes it with the red fist, or makes it the Mr. Wonderful edition, where you see there's like a band here on the glove.
Yeah.
If he makes this band in red color for Mr. Wonderful, that could be an interesting way to do it. Like as if the fist is, or imagine engraving another FP Journe watch on the wrist. Like
Retail price is $865,000. Todd Levine. Thank God someone's here that knows something, and we're just a bunch of
it's
people.
close. I said 1 million, right? With taxes. Add
Well,
taxes in.
you know what? I think this would be cooler as a clock. I mean, I think
The hand side.
Yeah, well, just like a more, yeah. This is just, but then it's less special because it's less difficult because it's smaller or bigger, I guess. But
yeah, they could make it into a clock that, like later down the road. But
what kind of FP Journe Russell have? Russell's in the chat. I remember he have a FP Journe. Which one he had? Do you remember, guys?
Oh, he's got the Sovereign, the classic Sovereign. Let me see if I can pull it up. He's got like with like a blue dial, I think, platinum. Platinum or white gold.
He was complaining that no one in England recognizes a watch as a FP Journe.
Oh, that's a good thing.
The people don't know it. And I said, if you walk around with the FP Journe here in Miami, people notice for sure.
Yeah, it's a different market. Miami is all about FP Journe, right? That's the highest brand there.
They will take notice here.
Yeah, it's it really, like, FP Journe is kind of a mainstream brand, especially with auction like this. It really puts it on the global market, opens it up to a global audience. So I would love to see a Todd Levin FP Journe edition. How, because Todd, he got a Roger Smith that he customized with Roger Smith to kind of strip it of all the color. I would love to know, like if Todd were gonna go for an FP Journe, which one he would do, and if he had an opportunity to customize it, how he would approach the customization. It'd be cool to see. Um, but yeah, this FP Journe, it's special because Francis Ford Coppola. I wonder if FP Journe could do this type of collabs with other artists, right? Because it doesn't have to be just filmmakers. Maybe he could work with, because like you know Mr. Wonderful, he is kind of really polarizing character. A lot of people like him, a lot of people can't stand him. But I think Francis Ford Coppola, he's a neutral person. He's not political. He's just a great filmmaker. And I wonder if they could do, or if FB Journe could do work with other prominent people who are less polarizing, because I think this is what he needs for the brand, right? That this type of stuff is really powerful. Um, oh, here we go. Russell clarifies that he's got the chronometer sovereign. Not complaining about not being noticed. It's true of all my dress watches. Yeah, it's Russell is he likes his understated pieces. Let's see. Hodinky Burkus watch was also sold. I think it was the first appearance in the auction. He's an interesting young watchmaker from Czech. Oh, Hodinky Burkus. Is that at the Phillips or is it Sotheby's? Would love to see more details about that as well. But yeah, and let's see what else. What else you guys think would be good for FB Journe? Like, do you guys have any like general comments on the auction? You think this is good for the brand? Is it bad for the brand?
It's good, of course, because the prices go to the roof.
Yeah. You think how would you think that they could follow this up if they were gonna follow it up?
But they don't need to work anymore because it's going by itself now.
Mm. You you think they could do something bigger? Because in the article they did mention that actually the the other really expensive FP Journe was the second watch that FP Journe ever made, but FP Journe's personal first watch that he's ever made still
Mhm.
hasn't been on auction. Like, what would be the strategy to sell that one? I wonder.
Do you think he will ever sell that?
Of course, he should. It would make strategic sense. Like, why does he need to keep it? Does he need to keep it for himself? He's gonna, kind of like what Francis Ford Coppola said. He sold it because he's 82. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna live forever. He lost all the money on that film, so he wants to leave some money to his kids. I guess
Yeah.
it's a honorable.
Does FP Journe have kids? Family?
I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Let's see. FP.
Timmy, what would be a
Is it?
reason why I see a user on StreamYard, but I don't see them in
Yeah.
chat on YouTube?
Sorry, what?
What would be a reason I see a user on StreamYard, his comments, but then I don't see it on YouTube?
Maybe you're in like a live chat and not you might be in the top chat and not in a live chat. There's a live chat, there's top chat. You go to the top, there's a little drop down menu,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're in the top chat, you're
Oh, I'm
not
in the
gonna see
top
something
chat.
like, yeah. You have to set it to live chat. That way you'll see it different. Todd says, not a Journe fan. Beautiful engineering. Don't like the design. Why have his name invent at Facet and chronometer or resonance printed on the face? All in different fonts. Very cluttering and inelegant. I see. Okay. Let's see. Let's pull it up here.
I like Todd more and more every day.
It's kind of, yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Todd is very much, comes from an art kind of direction, and maybe this is something that's hurting FB Journe um, watches from an art from an art perspective. If he changed this stuff up, that could actually improve his brand.
You know,
That-
I like what's the classic one called, like, tobacco or like something
Havana.
Havana. Like,
Yeah.
to me, that's like, if I ever wanted one, I think that's recognizable. It's what I remember. It's uncluttered. It's a good looking watch. Like this here, I mean, I don't know, this could, might as well be a Bell and Ross to me. I just don't. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, you're talking about, let's see here, this one right here.
Yeah, just like
and
to
it doesn't
me,
have that second font that the Todd.
but does it have to? Like, that's a beautiful watch, and now it just seems like,
yeah,
I'm not disrespecting what he does, but it seems like he's trying too hard now. Like, how do I one up? How do I know what's next?
Yeah.
And
He's very much a watchmaker. He's not an artist. So when he puts that stuff, he's trying to kind of advertise the features of the watch, whereas it's not necessary because people will know. Like, you don't have to explicitly say. That's the difference here between an artist and like a watchmaker. Rolex puts on their watches. It's a Submariner, 100 feet, 30 meters water resistant, superlative chronometer, officially
Right.
certified. They put that because they're not making art. They're making a tool watch, and they're putting the specs. It's like, these are the specs of the watch. And
Right.
FP Journe, he probably took that from Rolex, and he might be thinking he needs to put that in. But he's very much has crossed over from watchmaking to making art. So he no longer needs that stuff, but yet he keeps putting it in. I think maybe you look. He's kind of, he's the top head of the brand. He's free to do whatever he wants to do it. But if he had some solid advice, I think Todd is on to something here.
what's that watch worth right there?
This one?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Dave F-
124,000.
Oh, Christ. David F451 just ruined FP Journe for me. He said FP Journe dials look like a pair of granny breasts. I'll never see it again the same way. And Todd did clarify that a lot of people in the art world love Journe, but just not him. So it's not that he's an art guy; he just doesn't like it. So good for him.
I think they do because they recognize it as kind of art. But I think FP Journe himself, he might not be as like, art is not his strength, right? He's a watchmaker. He's
more of a designer, like, right? He's like more of a designer.
No, he's the watch. He is.
I know,
watchmaker.
but like, but if you're saying he's not into the art side of it, then he's a designer, like,
No. It's the opposite. He's not a designer. That's why he's a watchmaker. He makes watches. He makes complications.
And design be damned.
Design be damned. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't. But although he created a design language, and but it feels like he's too married to that design language that he came up. Although he's not, because he's not he doesn't have that design mind, where, like what Todd pointed out, like, why have all these scripts? Why say this stuff? Why put it on the dial? Because the movement speaks for itself. It's one thing because the printing undermines the movement. You see it? Because he's got this incredible movement, right? That speaks for itself, right? It's got the open case back. You could turn it around. You could see that it's the resonance, right? You don't need that to be printed on the dial. Rolex prints it on the dial because you can't see those things. The movement is closed on the Rolex watch, right? So you need the font, you need the printing to say, hey, it's actually a certified chronometer. It's a reliable movement. Don't confuse this with the Seiko SKX, right? Because if they didn't say this stuff, then you could say, oh, this is no different than Seiko SKX, a $300 watch. Why would you pay more for a Rolex? That's why Rolex puts it in. No. We're not like the rest. We are certified chronometer. FP Journe doesn't need to do that, but he seems to think he needs that because Rolex does it, or wherever he got that idea from. I don't know who told him that he should put it down. Makes no sense. Yeah. Also prefer watchmakers whose output is much smaller and contained. Journe now makes over 1,000 watches a year, and yeah, and the big part that the 20% owned by Chanel, and I just prefer a higher level of rarity. Yeah, FP Journe is not actually very rare. It's like it it's kind of like manufactured success to some level,
Well,
right?
1,000 is low compared to 1.2 million of Rolex, but I know what he's saying. Like rarity
Yeah.
is 10 or
Yeah.
one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like Roger Smith, or even like Romain Gauthier. Romain Gauthier makes like 50 watches a year, I think. Ferdinand Berthoud, right? Those guys, they have very similar. Whereas FP Journe, there is a lot of that commercial success stuff. It's for, see, when he puts that, the printing on the dial, it's kind of for the masses. It's for people who are not like educated in watches. That's why FP Journe, it's good for like these investor heads, right? That's why Mr. Wonderful, it appeals to people like Mr. Wonderful, who are in it kind of for the money, and they're not, they don't actually want to understand the stuff. They want it for the commercial appeal.
But that's
It's
also about the personality of the watchmaker, because like Roger, who you just said,
Roger Smith, yeah.
Roger Smith and the FP Journe guy, like they're two completely different human beings, and so it's what their ego needs. It's there's a lot going on there. It's his brand, it's his watch, so he's not, he doesn't want to be understated. I heard he's kind of like a party animal. He's an out, he's a, I don't know what I'm saying, but like,
FP Journe.
yeah, aren't there some crazy stories about him?
I think it's like, right, like understated to whom, and I think, like, is he understated? He is kind of understated, but like amongst like the investor types, um, putting in, the like marketing material on the dial, it takes away from the watch. It doesn't make it so understated, right? Like if like, well, this is, by the way, this is the Russell's watch that we're looking at right now, right?
That's
He's got the really
that's
clean
well,
example.
so I like that one almost better than the brown, because I'm not a brown guy. That's
It's like a
beautiful.
blue Havana, actually,
I like it too.
Yeah, a
right?
blue gray, a blue black.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, the blue Havana watch. No printing. Doesn't need the explanation what the movement on the inside like.
If you know, you know. Uh,
Yeah,
thanks.
and that's like how a lot of like the really top art. They're not really trying to sell you the product. I think maybe FP Journe felt that he needed to put that stuff to make the brand successful. But now that it is a commercial success that it is, he should kind of stop doing it. Like, look at H Moser, right? They're not even putting logo. And I think FP Journe, he probably doesn't even need all that. Like, he's got FP Journe and Invent at Pisse, it's not necessary any longer. Like, people know what it is. He could just put FPJ. That's it.
LaFlame Scott Honcho said it's interesting. FB Journe is a dress watch version of RM, which is kind of if you think about it, it's for attention. I think I know what he's saying on that. That like there are brands that just want to be pure watches, and there are brands that want to become like more than the watch. You know what I mean? I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
But
Well, you want to push the boundaries, right? You want to create something new, take risks, push something further, not just sit on your like laurels and just collect cash.
but we're lucky that some brands don't do that, because love them or hate them, that's what makes Patek great and Rolex great. Like, you have this history, you have this consistency, you know, um, you know,
Well,
and that's where I like those kind of watches. I
yeah.
like things that
What
stood
does
the test of time.
FP Journe do as marketing? Because,
Not
for
just the
example,
newest
in Dubai, were they in Dubai too?
thing,
No, he wasn't in Dubai.
The one not in Dubai? Are they at in Geneva at the Watches and Wonders? Are they there?
I don't hear Magic City. I'm going to reboot.
No.
I
Okay.
can't hear Magic City.
Okay, reboot.
Unbelievable.
Test. Okay. Are they? What are they doing on promotion, or they just don't need to do that?
I don't think they need to do that. No, they
Yeah,
just
that's
they've got
that's
more demand that they could ever fulfill. Like they got a
that's
wish list for the next 10 years.
that's ingenious. That's the best business model you can dream of.
Yep.
So amazing.
They do their
Amazing.
own every boutique, they hold their own events like every couple of weeks or so. So they really don't need to go out. Obviously, like AP, they left Watches and Wonders and now they went back. Obviously, I think it's because they find the field is very competitive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very competitive market. AP, they need to sell 50,000 watches. They tried to go up to like 80,000, but they couldn't. Like they hit the wall, right? All of these watchmakers, they have to work within the parameter. There's only so many people that can afford watches, and they're trying to get the best watches that their money can buy, right? And not everybody can buy every single watch that comes out. So you have to use your everybody is trying to use their resources as wisely as they can, right? And it's very tough. It's very tough. And these brands, they also have to be very careful so that they don't oversell the stuff, so that it doesn't come back and hurt them later down the road, right? Uh, AP, like FP Journe, he could make 1,000 chronometer blues, right? But that's going to completely cannibalize the brand. It will destroy the brand. So they have to be very careful about kind of calibrate what they sell, who they sell to. It's more complicated than it seems. So it's like a dance uh, that they do with their customers. They have to be very careful. And they have to be very careful not piss off the customers that they have. I know there's some brands, I'm not gonna name, but there's some I talked to some unhappy customers because they had a conversation with the CEO, and now they're saying, "Oh, we'll no longer buy from that brand." And these customers, they could have been spending millions potentially later down the road if there wasn't one miscommunication that happened between them. So it's very
Hey,
tough.
Tim, in Geneva, they have their own restaurant, FP Journe, is that correct?
They do, yeah. And I think this is a clever way to continue increasing the revenue that the brand brings in without producing more watches.
But how does that work? Does he invite customers there, or is there? Do you have to wear a FP Journe to get in? Is it members only? How does it work, Tim?
It's open for everybody. You do have to make a reservation
Yeah.
if there's not enough seats. Sometimes if the season is not good, you can get a table. You can go and get a table. You just walk in. It's
Are there representatives of the brand there trying to sell you something, or
No,
is
nobody's
there?
trying to sell you anything, but they have the staff, the chefs there wear FP Journe watches. And if you are the number one customer from that year, they'll sell you an FP Journe Elegante with a red dial.
Okay.
If that's to the top clients.
Do you have to have an FP Journe on to come in the restaurant?
No, you don't. But you have higher chances of getting an FP Journe if you dine at the restaurant.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's all about they want to serve their clients, people who are loyal to them. So if every time you go to Geneva, you dine at FP Journe, they'll put in a good word for you. If so for example, you go to FP Journe restaurant, you take pictures at the restaurant, then you go to the next FP Journe meeting, you show them pictures that you were dining at the restaurant, they'll more likely to sell you their watch.
Yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
doing business with them. It's a
Yeah.
proof that you're somebody who they could trust.
I just put in the private chat the menu for the FP Journe, the FP Journe restaurant. If you want to pull up the menu, see, there's no cheeseburgers there, Tim.
Yeah, it's fine dining. It's kind of a Michelin star type of ordeal.
Do other brands do that? Having a restaurant or a lounge area just to meet their customers?
Other
I,
brands do it, but not watch brands. For example, like
okay. Yeah.
Armani, that's a suit manufacturer, but they have a hotel in Dubai.
Mhm.
Right, so
Well,
I could
we,
foresee FP Journe doing a restaurant. Oh, sorry, not a restaurant, a hotel. He should do a hotel. I think it would be very successful in Geneva
what?
somewhere,
Yeah.
where customers or just general people who go for who travel to Geneva might want to stay at like a high end
I haven't been to
hotel.
this restaurant, but I've been to restaurants like this, and these are the restaurants where you drop $1,000 and then you
Mhm.
want to go to McDonald's afterwards
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're still
Yeah.
you're starving.
Yeah,
But it's French. These are not big meals. It's all
Yeah,
petit.
yeah, it's
well,
art.
that's right. It's
But
not expensive at
it's
all. You're right.
what they're famous for.
Yeah, it's it's art. It's $300, I think, per person. For 7 courses. It's like a 7 course without the wine, and that's where they get you. It's $1,000, with the bottle of wine. And
You
look at
know
this,
what?
they
You know
got
what? If you go to a restaurant in Miami, you're close to 300 too. If you do a little bit drinking and eating
We
seven
were
course.
recently we were at
Oh,
Pappy Steakhouse at the Fontainebleau uh,
yeah,
in Vegas. There's a new hotel called Fontainebleau, and they
yeah,
have a
Fontainebleau.
steakhouse called Poppy's, Papi,
Mhm.
and they have these briefcases that it's 10 grand, and you could probably find a video of it. It's this big silver briefcase, and they all come out in this like train, and then the lights go down in the restaurant, and all these spotlights follow this suitcase full of meat, and it's this big silver suitcase, and then when they open it up, it looks like this light's coming out of it, like from the scene in
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction when they open up the briefcase and you don't know what but yeah, it's a pretty. I'm sure there's a video out there, but it was pretty ridiculous. It was 10 grand for this meat suitcase, but like that's just a show. Like
Nice.
who needs to eat like that?
It's like the Salt Bay, right?
Yeah.
So look at this. The 4 courses is called the Elegante. 5 courses is the Souverain, and 7 courses is the Astronomique for 180 Swiss francs. It's pretty cool.
No, it's
That's not
not
unreasonable.
over the top. No, that's
No.
not unreasonable. Yeah.
Yeah, and look, it's good if you want to get FP Journe wristwatch, but also if you're into fine dining, it looks great. And he partnered with a legitimate chef, Dominique Gouthier. They prepared a really cool menu, and I think it's a really interesting way to experience watches. Right? If you like watches, they've done something here to make this stuff appealing to watch enthusiasts. All the cutlery has like wristwatches on there, and so there's something kind of wristwatch related, uh, in the menu. So yeah, and the wine, of course. Let's see, offer. What's an offer here? Reserve a table. You can reserve a table from the website. Pretty cool. It's really cool
It's cool.
atmosphere. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's cool stuff. It's a
Yeah,
great way to
Timmy,
also.
Timmy, you went to the Versace restaurant.
Which one?
You went to the Versace, Gianni Versace restaurant here in Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, it's at his mansion. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your sweet spot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice location. They allow us to stream there. It's cool. It's a sad story, very tragic.
Yeah.
But I would have went to FP Journe, but it's too expensive.
Does the family doesn't own that. That's just his former mansion that someone turned into that restaurant, right?
I think they might actually. The
It's 'cause
family, I think,
I
owns it, and they
I
turned it
always think
into.
about when I walk up those stairs, and I've never eaten there, but it's kind of disrespectful. Like that's right where he was murdered, on those stairs, and a bunch of drunk South Beach people are just walking over his. I don't know.
But it's a family. It goes. It's amazing that people could go and kind of anyone who spends money at his place, they're paying tribute to his legacy in a way, right? Even though that's where he got tragically murdered, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It would be worse if that place was unattended and just forgotten. This
Yeah.
way,
It
he
was
lives on.
unattended. It was unattended for 20 years, I think.
Yeah, and so I think it's turning in such a successful restaurant the way it is. It's great for his legacy. They turned a negative into a positive.
Yeah.
So I think it's good. Todd says he would prefer a George Daniels pub on the Isle of Man. Hey, he should do that. That's incredible, actually. Do you need to buy an FP Journe watch from boutique to make reservation with the restaurant? No, but look, I think it does help if you buy if you dine at FP Journe. And actually, that was a thing that they surprised. I think the number one client or whatever they had, they offered him to buy a red dial Elegante, and those red dial Elegantes, they're like retail 20,000, but there's one that sold for on auction for like 300, 400K. So it's absurd. It's just the color and the rarity of it. But anyways, guys, I think we talked. I think we said everything there is to say about this auction. It's an interesting story. I think more than anything else, an interesting project. It's because at the end of the day, I think it's the reason Vincent van Gogh paintings go for so much, because people were fascinated by his story. Like at the time, he seemed crazy, but like he's done that for love, right? He cut his ear off because of how passionate he was, right? It's and I
He
think
was
the same
also
thing.
insane in a mental asylum.
Yeah,
So
and I think it's the same thing people will say about Francis Ford
Tim Wright,
Coppola.
about
No,
Tim
no,
Wright.
Francis. Oh yeah, me definitely. But maybe these live streams will be rewatched in 300 years, and my great grandkids will become millionaires or whatever. But in the meantime, that's what people think of Francis Ford Coppola, right? He's fucking sold his winery, sold everything, and put his money into that film. That's one of the biggest commercial flops right now. But maybe in the future, it'll be whatever, like the one of the greatest films ever. I'm gonna go watch it actually right now after the stream.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
is it
Me
already
too.
is it already streaming?
It has to be. It was made in 2024.
Yeah, and it was a flop, so I'm sure it went right to video.
I'm gonna check it out
I
also.
think the F1 movie is now streaming. I never went and saw that. I know the big screen is where to see that, but I don't go to movies.
Must
So
see it. You haven't watched it yet,
no.
dude? Watch it. It's great.
I watch
I
F1
love
every
it.
Sunday. I watch real F1.
Big day tomorrow. Big day
Yeah,
tomorrow.
big
F1.
day. I
Big.
can't
Max.
believe
Max is on
Verstappen.
pole.
Yeah,
Yeah, Max.
God.
Yeah, he's something, eh?
He's the kind of driver that when he won so much, you kind of hated him. Kind of like why people hated the New York Yankees or whatever when they were winning too much. But now he feels like an underdog because he's come from behind, and it's going to be a great race. I mean, wow.
The story is good this year.
Yeah. And I love there's a lot more teams that are in it, you know. It's not just he's not blowing them away.
Three drivers are in it for tomorrow for the World Championship. 3. So it will be exciting.
9 a.m. my time. I'll be watching. I'll be watching.
Me too.
Send me the link, guys. I'll check it out as well. Good show, everybody. Sorry that the subject is not for everyone, but I think it's important. It's important to discuss it because actually money is not everything, okay? Just because this auction was a commercial success doesn't mean that this is good for watches. Doesn't mean that this is good for the hobby. I'm curious where this is gonna go. I wanted to have this chat with you guys, and we'll see later down the road what all of this, how this will play out for all of the players in this auction. What this will mean for FP Journe, what this will mean for Francis Ford Coppola, and what this will mean for the collectors, because this made big news in the watch space, and we'll see how others will use this. So, Mickey, thank you so much for joining me. Magic City, great having you on.
Mike Lewis, come back.
Come back.
Come back, Mike. Mike, we miss you. Really.
Where's Mike? What happened to Mike?
We don't know.
No, he's just been missing in action, but since Dubai. But hopefully he'll be out tomorrow. Thank you for watching.
Looking forward.
We'll be back tomorrow, guys.
Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.